Hello and welcome back to another 10-minute investor eye test with Sasha and Melo from Arcanum Ventures. Today, we are going to be covering Hana Network, a zero-knowledge powered privacy-first blockchain that enables seamless fiat to crypto swaps and centralized exchange-free access. Stick around to the end of the video where we're going to give our thoughts in our review of this. Obviously, only taking 10 short minutes to review and dive into it. How's it going today, Sasha? You know much about Hana Network?
It's going good. I don't know a whole lot, but we did cover it in our upcoming three token launch video earlier this week. And so, from what I understand, Hana Network claims to be pioneering Web 4. I'm not really sure what Web 4 means. I figured we're still trying to get Web 3 off the ground. But from I think the very shallow dive I did into Hana Network, I from what I understand, they're trying to bring like some sort of financial layer to social media networks. So maybe like allowing trading or transactability across something like Facebook. I guess that's their definition of Web 4, but hopefully we find out. And hopefully we find out if there is a token and how the token fits into this whole picture, because they are going through a token launch, I believe.
Yeah, that's interesting. Like we talked about it before, like Jack Dorsey trying to pen the term Web 5, but as you rightly said, we're still trying to clearly define what Web 3 actually is. Some people have a definition, but we haven't universally agreed on that definition. And now Web 4 is flying out of nowhere. And it's interesting to introduce like a social layer to this trading and onboarding of capital. Cutting out the middleman, cutting out the exchanges is, I think, something that everybody can get behind unless you run or work for an exchange. But I've seen more and more frustration for these access points as gatekeeping of crypto, and it would be nice if there was easier ways to onboard new people. We always say we want to onboard the next billion, but the only way to do that is with the big Coinbases and the Binances. So it would be nice to have another way to do that without going through these huge, colossal exchanges.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I guess we're going to find out what Hana Network's all up to. And we've got 10 short minutes on the clock, starting right meow. Boom. And we've got crypto rank up for Hana Network. I see that IDO on Capital Launchpad, that's Kaito,
Hmm.
started yesterday, I believe. And so it looks like they're raising $1 million on Kaito, but more importantly, we've got some interesting logos here on the cap table. YZ Labs, Binance Labs, right? Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's CZ's Binance Labs. I think they rebranded when he had to step down as part of his plea deal in the US, I guess. But they're still pretty active. They're obviously, everybody knows it's like an inside secret or an open secret that they're Binance Labs still. They just
Mm.
rebranded. And then you got Orange DAO, which is like a huge incubator, I think, but definitely, incubator and investor in the space. ChainGPT Labs is a massive backer of like its own pad. So I wonder if they're going to be doing an IDO on there as well. I would assume so. You got D Whales and you got SushiSwap, which I didn't even know made investments. But now, if I'm thinking about it, if they're trying to cut out centralized exchanges, maybe they have some sort of partnership or strategic investment from SushiSwap to collaborate and use that as an engine for swaps, which would be interesting.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. They need to make partnerships like that for them to cut out the big middlemen, centralized exchanges. But I see here,
Yeah.
Hana Network is a proof of stake blockchain on Cosmos SDK and Tendermint for Ethereum, Bitcoin, and other L1s, L2s. There's a lot of name dropping there, but the Cosmos SDK, which we know is very modular and very good for building interoperability infrastructure between different types of networks like this. So that's interesting. They've got their very own blockchain,
Hmm.
and looks like they're raising $7 million at an initial fully diluted valuation of 40 million. That's very modest for a blockchain, right?
Yeah, I mean, even the public sale, according to this, is 75 million, which is still pretty modest. Like we've been seeing some, you know, pump fund launch at like $6 billion valuation, and that's not even a blockchain. And then we're seeing some other blockchains. I think the last several projects we covered were blockchains, and they all had pretty wild valuations. Still, I think they're coming down from what they once were, maybe last cycle, but they're still pretty high. And you and I have covered this also before with the rise of like Caldera and Cosmos and some of these roll up solutions. It's never been easier or cheaper to roll out a network, your own network. Might not be like a layer one or layer zero, but we can launch these purpose driven, really hyper niche roll ups and blockchains and layer twos and layer threes with relative ease in like 10, 15 minutes now. So it makes sense to raise less. The only reason you would want to raise more, like one of the like SoFi network, for example, is to raise $100 million so that you have a war chest to invest or write grants or kind of incentivize ecosystem activities so that you can justify the existence of that new chain when there's obviously so many chains crowding the space. So Hana Network at least sounds like it has a very niche approach and it has a very specialized reason for existing, which I can appreciate, but I don't know much about why we need a chain for this and how it's going to operate in the Cosmos ecosystem, especially.
Well, let's try and find out. I've got the website open here, and this is already extremely trippy. The branding is kind of wild. Bloom like magic. I like that tagline, but this doesn't tell me anything about the product or the ecosystem yet.
Yeah,
Oh, what do you know?
it's kind of
Product.
fascinating. Like that's one of the most beautiful visual above the fold websites I've seen. But it also has no call to action, and it doesn't tell me. You're right. Like Bloom to Magic, it's like what this could be a design studio. This could be a movie. I don't know. So not my favorite like copywriting or organization of a website. But we're obviously not here to just critique that. We're just giving our quick reactions to it.
Yeah, and so they've got a product section here talking about that from Web 3 to Web 4. Hyper casual finance will replace centralized exchanges in the Web 4 era. And that's interesting because you're talking about maybe bringing payment on ramps or off ramps into everyday platforms that different people use on a day to day basis. So
Hmm.
that's what this is, I suppose, the HANA Gateway platform with trustless on-off ramps, a Quest campaign to empower DeFi protocols. Everyone's got a questing thing nowadays. And then
Yeah,
HANA Fuda.
I was gonna say, like, if you scroll up, it says, I mean, I do like the term hyper casual finance. That's interesting, but hyper casual finance will replace centralized exchange in the Web4 era. And then you got a Quest campaign. So they're already pissing off centralized exchanges, and they're pissing off Kaito, which they're using. They're like, we're gonna make our own Quest campaign. So it's kind of interesting. They're like competing with too many things, and I'm wondering what their centralized exchange listing strategy will be, if any. Like you can't declare war in centralized exchanges and then launch on Mexi or KuCoin. Like it feels a little bit like misaligned there.
Well, maybe you can if you offer them like a deal where they're going to make a lot of money. I mean, I
Yeah,
don't believe these centralized exchanges have any souls, to be honest. So that's my hot take for the day. But it is a very good point. I don't know why they put two placeholders for coming soon, coming soon. You can just do without that, guys.
yeah,
Uh,
maybe. I mean, it is helpful sometimes. Like I was going to say before, one of the calls to action that is noticeably missing is build with us or check out our network, the tech. So it seems like they're not even going after that third party developers, at least not yet. But they are teasing like we're building all our own apps. We have a suite, we have an SDK. So we have three that are announced right now, more to come. So they're setting the expectation that they're going to release more, but nothing, no information on those other two yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe it's a completely different type of network where it's just like a technology infrastructure layer. But I do see that they're bringing a peer-to-peer marketplace, casual earning infrastructure, live social tipping, and again that on and off ramp. Unlike the passive experience of centralized exchanges, so they're focusing on like the engaging aspects of social media or social networks,
Yeah.
social graphs to try and bring what they refer to as Web 4. So interactive, retail focused, retail time or real time. And then through integration with major Web 2 platforms like Twitter, Telegram, Discord, and TikTok, we've
Well,
created a powerful entry point to catalyze viral growth. Very interesting. So
that's pretty powerful. Yeah.
yeah, but like, isn't Elon Musk is trying to create like a cryptocurrency payment solution for Twitter. I know Telegram. Like, I don't think Ton is going to let a company like this come and just take over their entire ecosystem, right?
It might not let it take it over, but it's just another option. Like you already get like creator royalties in on Twitter. It's not Web3, but you can already get people to subscribe and pay monthly for your whatever your insights on Twitter. I don't know why anybody would do that, but so these things already exist. But it's still an interesting like if they actually are. I want to know how integrated they actually are with these social networks, but we're seeing more and more talk of this live tipping, and this is maybe what they mean by Web4, But for me, I'm I know we always joke about it, but now imagining like the person at Starbucks or at the grocery store that turns around the tablet like, "Can you tip me?" Now it's gonna be like creators like asking like, "Would you like to tip me 15 or 20% for my shit post on Twitter?"
Could you imagine some awful business development people requiring you to tip them to even like send them a message to get in touch with their company?
Well, actually,
Jesus, conflicts of interest
Telegram
left and
has
right.
that now. You can set like stars on Telegram, so you need to pay $3 to message me first.
That's so
People do
annoying.
this at conferences just to avoid spammers. It's helpful, but it's like I don't want to pay people to talk.
Yeah, I mean, like, how do you justify that to your company though? If your job is to get in touch with as many people as possible, I see that there's not a lot of other information, and there's no mention of the token whatsoever. And so, I took a look at the medium, and so let me show that here. We've got early access sale for a Hana TGE, road to TGE, and then some educational content around like their ethics and their vision and stuff. But I didn't see anything around tokenomics, and I know that this is a Kaito launch, so we did find information from Coin Launch, which we had seen before for one of our videos. But there's some information here. Melo, did you take a look at this before?
Just briefly, I mean, reinforcing some of the information we already saw on Crypto Rank. Still not a whole lot of information about the utility. It's mostly about I think on Kaito they're getting 100% TGE, so they're getting all their tokens, no vesting,
Wild.
and it's finishing. So it's been going for a week. It's finishing yesterday, I guess.
Yeah,
Uh,
finished
yeah,
yesterday.
I don't know if they're gonna TGE directly after this, or if it's just maybe they're gonna work with other, like we mentioned, like they might launch on ChainGPT pad. If they're partnered with them, I would imagine that they want to, or that'd be weird if they didn't.
It's interesting.
Um, yeah,
I wonder if Kaito, like their Yaps page for Hana Network, has the information around like token use cases, etc. But again, the website has no information on that whatsoever, and there's no call to action for builders, so we have no idea what this network is actually being used for.
yeah.
Oh, that's our 10 minutes up.
Guess it's speculation time.
Yeah, but I did find one more thing, so we'll cheat for another minute. There's an individual on X Web3 Adil who posted some information around Hana Network tokenomics, and we aren't sure if this is verified at all, but they do have a Hana branded image here with the token supply breakdown, talking about what these different tranches are for, and so a large portion of tokens going to community and ecosystem. They've also got a large portion going to treasury and operations. You don't really see that very often anymore, because you would hope that companies that are launching digital assets like fungible tokens have all the funding they need to operate like a real company before they actually launch the token.
Yeah,
And they've got some other things as far as team, liquidity, and partners. But
and
yeah, no,
strategic means nothing to me too. Like I don't know why you would ever have a launch a tranche saying strategic. Like what is it used for? Is that just another treasury, a mini treasury?
yeah, that's like strategically give me more money so I can buy a Lambo.
I mean, it's true they
But
only
yeah,
have 10% for team and core and no advisors, so that's pretty modest actually. Like usually we see like in the area of 20% allocated to team and advisors.
yeah, it's a good point. Well, unfortunately, like that's all the information that we could find on the tokenomics. And so I suppose it's time to get into our verdicts. But before we do, I want to remind everybody to please, if you enjoy this content, make sure you tap that like button and throw us a subscribe, follow us on social media, join our cool Telegram community. And yeah, Mello, you want me to go first or you want to go first?
Yeah, take it away.
Okay. I think you probably expect what my answer is. This is going to be one thumb sideways, but maybe slightly down. I don't know anything about what Hana Network actually is. I don't know um, what the products are besides like we've got questing and we've got fiat on ramps and off ramps. And then they've got like I forget, it was like a Lego card game, I think. Hana Fuda said it was
I
a
didn't
Lego card
understand what
game.
that was. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. But anyways, like they've got a questing platform which you can like buy and whitelist for a couple grand. They've got fiat on ramps and off ramps for crypto, which you can also like whitelist, I think, for free now because companies like Circle or Stripe, I believe. They
Yeah.
make transaction fee revenue from that. So I
Hmm.
don't really know what they're building, and I haven't seen anything as far as products, and more importantly, we haven't seen any information about partnerships or integrations. They claimed we're going to launch this infrastructure for Twitter, Telegram, Discord, etc., but like show us some proof, man. And then on top of that, as far as the investment goes, I don't know what the token does and how it fits in. If it's a proof of stake blockchain, then do they really need $7 million and the money from a token sale to fund it, or could they just copy pasta something like as far as EVM compatibility? I don't know, but yeah, thumb sideways. I'm willing to learn a little bit more just because the branding is nice, and that's pretty much it for me at this point.
All right. Yeah, I can dig that. And I think I've been a little bit too much of a nice guy lately. So I'm going to start off with the thumbs down. I don't think I've done a thumbs down in a while. It's nothing personal against Hana Network. Like, I guess there's two takeaways here. Like, if we're judging the idea, then maybe it's not a thumbs down. I like the idea. I like it in theory. I like that there is a focus on 51%. They made that pretty obvious that they want to like decentralize this, I guess, in a way. They want to make it clear that it's proof of stake blockchain. You could help run it. They didn't mention anything about validators or running a node or helping the network run, but you can guess in our experience seeing blockchains like that's going to have to happen. Maybe this is just taken as a given now. Everybody's launching a blockchain. You know what to expect now with the token. I don't know how much activity we can plan here for 3 apps on the chain and no third-party development. So that's a little bit worrying. You're right. Like the branding is nice, pretty good cap table. Not the best, not the worst. I don't think that's enough to go off of because like what the thumbs down really signifies is the startling lack of information. Like I don't know where this new trend started for being cryptic, but I can't believe I'm saying this in 2025. But a cardinal sin of marketing is just having your blog on Medium, having no information on your token economics. It's gate kept on a launchpad with no information about where we can access that or participate in other future rounds on other launchpads or where they're going to launch on an exchange when they're declaring war on their exchanges. So I think there's a lot of missing information here, and I don't think being cute and cryptic with your information really benefits you. I think it feels very opaque in an industry that celebrates transparency. Why are we still hiding this information? We should be prominently displaying it everywhere on our website, on third-party websites as well. Partners should be talking about it, not just people on Twitter yapping and trying to earn rewards with AI-generated threads. So it's a little bit worrying that they might be like the next big thing. We don't know. I'm not saying it isn't. I'm just saying that it's hard to make an investment decision when you don't have that information. And I guess that's the key takeaway here. We as VCs have more access to this information. We can ask questions. We can get on a call with them. But retail investors, all they have to go off is what's on Kaito Launchpad's information for the launch and what are people saying on Twitter, which is not a great way to invest, if I'm being honest. The information asymmetry is out of hand. VCs have such a huge edge. Anybody that's talked to the team has such a huge edge over people on Twitter, your average user. So it's scary that they're raising millions of dollars from people that don't know what it's doing. There's no other way to say it. That's scary. I hope that they mean well. Maybe they're building something great, but I don't know. I don't have enough information to go off of.
Wow. Harsh words, and I agree with them, to be honest. But hopefully, at the end of every negative conclusion in this video series, we always like wish the team the best and hope
Yeah.
that they do the right thing, I suppose. So yeah, like Hana Network, best of luck to you all. Best of luck on the token launch, and yeah, we hope to see you usher Web 4 into this world, whatever that may mean. I hope it's for the better of people and not just like taking my grandma on Facebook and throwing her into meme coin trading and things like that. Don't do that. But yep, that's 10 short minutes on the books for Hana Network. And thank you so much to all of our viewers for watching. Again, make sure you tap that like button, throw us a follow, and stick around because we have much more fun content coming for all of you. Until then, take care, y'all. Ciao.
Ciao.